Why do people always come back when you walk away? Is it some kind of psychological trick or something deeper? Let me tell you, it's not a coincidence. Walking away is one of the most underrated power moves you can make in relationships, and today we're breaking down exactly why it works. This isn't about playing games or using manipulation. It's about understanding your worth, reclaiming your power, and sending a clear message that you're not afraid to choose yourself. Whether it's in dating, friendships, or even in life decisions, walking away can completely change the way people see you and how you see yourself. In this video, I'm sharing 10 powerful reasons why walking away works like magic to attract people back into your life. We'll dive into human psychology, explore timeless wisdom from Stoicism, and uncover practical steps to level up your relationships and your mindset. This is the kind of knowledge that can completely shift your perspective on love, respect, and personal growth. And trust me, you're going to want to hear all 10 steps because they build on each other in ways that might surprise you. So before we dive in, smash that like button if you're ready to reclaim your power, and hit subscribe to join our powerful Stoic Way community, where we help you master relationships and unlock your best self. Now, let's get into it. Why does walking away work so well? Let's find out. Step 1. Scarcity creates desire. Let's dive into one of the most powerful psychological principles. Scarcity creates desire. It's a fact of life. People want what they can't easily have. This doesn't just apply to relationships, but also to products, experiences, and even opportunities. Think about it. Why do luxury brands limit their products? Why do some of the most successful musicians disappear for years, only to come back and generate massive hype? Scarcity triggers a psychological response. It makes us value things more. In relationships, the same principle applies. When you're always available, you unintentionally communicate that your time, energy, and attention aren't valuable. On the other hand, when you walk away, you create space for the other person to reflect and realize what they've lost. Let's break this down further. Imagine you're texting someone every day, constantly checking in, and always showing up, no matter how they treat you. Over time, this behavior becomes predictable, even boring. But the moment you stop, that sudden absence creates intrigue. The person starts wondering, why did they stop? What are they doing now? Did I make a mistake letting them go? This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding value. When you step back, you give the other person a chance to experience life without you. And often, that absence speaks louder than anything you could say. Here's a practical tip. Start creating scarcity in subtle ways. Focus on your goals, hobbies, and passions. Build a life that's fulfilling and exciting, so you're not constantly chasing validation from someone else. When you do this, you naturally shift the dynamic, and your value increases. And let me ask you, have you ever stepped back in a relationship and noticed how it changed the way the other person treated you? Share your experience in the comments. I'd love to hear how scarcity worked in your life. Step 2. Confidence is irresistible. Confidence is the ultimate game changer. It's not just attractive, it's magnetic. But what exactly is confidence? It's the quiet belief that you're enough, that you have value regardless of someone else's opinion. When you walk away, you're demonstrating confidence. You're saying, I'm secure in who I am, and I'm not afraid to lose someone who doesn't see my worth. This act of self-assurance is one of the most attractive traits you can have. Let's talk about why confidence is so powerful in relationships. Women are naturally drawn to men who exude a sense of purpose and independence. When you walk away, you're sending a clear message. Your happiness doesn't depend on her. You're not needy and you're not desperate. Instead, you're focused on living your best life, with or without her. Here's an example. Think about public figures who carry themselves with quiet confidence. They don't beg for attention or try to prove their worth. They simply are. That kind of energy is magnetic because it's rooted in self-respect. But let's get real. Confidence doesn't mean arrogance or pretending you don't care. It's about genuinely knowing your value. If you walk away but secretly obsess over whether she'll text you back, that's not confidence, that's insecurity. True confidence comes from within. It's built through self-awareness, self-improvement, and a strong sense of purpose. A great quote by Marcus Aurelius sums this up. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you walk away confidently, you're showing that you control your emotions, not the other way around. Step 3. The power of letting go. Finally, let's talk about the power of letting go. This is where Stoicism shines. The Stoics teach us to focus only on what we can control, our actions, our thoughts, and our emotions. Everything else, including how someone feels about us, is outside of our control. When you walk away, you're letting go of the need to control the outcome. You're accepting that some things aren't meant to be, and that's okay. This act of detachment is incredibly powerful because it frees you from the fear of loss. Here's the irony. The moment you let go, the other person often starts to notice your absence. They start to miss the things they took for granted. Your kindness, your presence, your energy. Why? Because letting go shifts the energy dynamic. Instead of chasing, you're creating space for them to come back on their own terms. Letting go is also an act of self-love. It's a way of saying, I deserve better than this. And when you make that decision, you start attracting better relationships, better opportunities, and a better version of yourself. Think about this. Have you ever seen someone who seems truly at peace with themselves? They're not desperate for attention or validation. They're simply content with who they are. That's the energy you embody when you let go. Here's a trending thought. The rise of healing journeys on social media highlights how people are learning to let go of toxic relationships and focus on self-growth. Walking away is a form of healing. It's a way to reclaim your power and rebuild your confidence. As Seneca said, Mi fom, no fern, ne sol de senates, more often in imagination than in reality. Walking away frees you from the mental anguish of clinging to something that's not serving you. So let me challenge you. What's one thing in your life you need to let go of right now? Take that first step today and share your journey in the comments. Your story could be the spark someone else needs to start their own transformation. Step 4. Absence amplifies emotional impact. One of the most overlooked aspects of walking away is how it amplifies emotional impact. Let me explain. Humans are emotional creatures, and we often don't appreciate what we have until it's no longer there. The absence of someone forces us to feel the void, and it's in that space that emotions grow stronger. When you walk away, you give the other person time and space to process their feelings. Without your constant presence, they're left to confront their thoughts, memories, and emotions about you. Suddenly, the moments they once took for granted, your jokes, your kindness, your support, become crystal clear. Why does this happen? It's because our brains are wired to reflect deeply when something changes or is lost. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect, which states that people remember incomplete or interrupted tasks better than those they've finished. Walking away leaves an unfinished story in their mind, making them replay and reconsider your value. This effect is amplified by modern life. Think about social media. When someone sees you thriving, achieving goals, or simply living your best life after stepping away, it stirs emotions. They start wondering if they misjudged you or let go of someone truly irreplaceable. But here's the key. Absence only works when you walk away with integrity and purpose. If you leave out of anger, resentment, or to provoke a reaction, the emotional impact is diluted. Instead, step back with grace, knowing you've done your part in the relationship. Here's a practical exercise. The next time you feel the need to fix things by over-communicating or chasing, pause. Focus on building something meaningful in your own life, a skill, a passion, or even your physical fitness. Let your absence speak louder than words. Step 5. Self-respect. Sets the standard for others. Self-respect is the foundation of every healthy relationship. When you walk away, you're not just creating distance, you're setting a standard for how you deserve to be treated. You're saying, I value myself enough to leave when I'm not valued in return. Let's break this down. Many people stay in relationships out of fear of being alone, fear of losing the other person, or fear of starting over. But here's the hard truth. Staying in a situation where you're not respected only erodes your self-esteem over time. And the more you tolerate disrespect, the more others will continue to disrespect you. When you walk away, you're making a powerful statement. You're showing that you're not willing to settle for anything less than mutual respect and effort. This act of self-respect not only elevates your value in the other person's eyes, but also in your own. Here's an important concept to remember. People mirror the way you treat yourself. If you respect yourself, others will follow suit. If you tolerate poor behavior, they'll assume it's acceptable. Walking away is a way of enforcing your boundaries and reminding both yourself and others of your worth. One of my favorite Stoic quotes comes from Epictetus. No person is free who is not master of themselves. Self-respect is about mastering your emotions and choices, even when it's difficult. Walking away might feel painful in the short term, but it's an investment in your long-term happiness and dignity. Here's a tip. Write down your non-negotiables in a relationship. These are the things you refuse to compromise on: respect, communication, honesty, etc. Whenever you feel tempted to stay in a situation that doesn't align with those values, revisit your list. Step 6. Growth happens in your absence. Here's a truth most people don't realize. Real growth often happens in your absence. When you walk away, you're giving the other person a chance to reflect, grow, and mature. And more importantly, you're giving yourself that same opportunity. In relationships, it's easy to fall into the trap of trying to fix things or save someone. But sometimes the best thing you can do is step back and let time and space do the work. When you're no longer there to provide constant validation or support, the other person is forced to confront their own shortcomings and decisions. Here's an example. Have you ever noticed how people sometimes come back into your life with a completely different attitude after a period of separation? That's because walking away creates a wake-up call. It challenges them to reevaluate their actions and priorities. But this isn't just about their growth. It's about yours too. Walking away allows you to focus on your own healing, self-improvement, and goals. It's an opportunity to rediscover who you are outside of the relationship. And when you grow, you naturally attract better experiences and people into your life. A powerful quote by Rumi captures this perfectly. Don't get lost in your pain. Know that one day your pain will become your cure. Walking away might hurt at first, but it's often the catalyst for profound growth and transformation. Here's a practical step. Use the time away to invest in yourself. Take a course, start a new hobby, or focus on your fitness journey. Show yourself that you're capable of thriving, even without the other person in your life. Step 7. Emotional independence is irresistible. One of the most underrated qualities in relationships is emotional independence. When you walk away, you're demonstrating that your happiness and sense of self-worth are not tied to someone else's validation. And here's the truth. Emotional independence is irresistible because it signifies strength and stability. Think about it. Who would you rather be with? Someone who is constantly seeking reassurance and validation, or someone who is grounded, confident, and secure in themselves? Emotional independence shows that you're capable of standing on your own 2 feet, and that kind of self-assuredness is incredibly attractive. Here's why this matters. Relationships thrive when both individuals bring their whole selves to the table. If one person is overly dependent on the other, it creates an imbalance. Walking away when necessary shows that you respect yourself enough to prioritize your mental and emotional well-being over clinging to a relationship that doesn't serve you. This doesn't mean you shouldn't care deeply about someone. It means you care about yourself just as much. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. When you stop imagining worst-case scenarios and trust in your ability to thrive alone, you gain freedom. Here's an actionable tip. Start building your emotional independence by developing habits and routines that fulfill you. Pursue hobbies, spend time with friends, and focus on personal growth. When you have a life that's rich and fulfilling outside of your relationships, you naturally become more attractive because you're no longer projecting neediness. Now, let me ask you, what's one thing you've done recently that made you feel strong and independent? Share it in the comments, because your journey could inspire someone else to take that step toward emotional freedom. Step 8. Mystery fuels attraction. Let's talk about mystery. It's often said that familiarity breeds contempt, while mystery sparks curiosity. When you walk away, you reintroduce an element of the unknown into the relationship dynamic. And trust me, that's a game changer. Why is mystery so powerful? Because human beings are naturally curious. We're drawn to things that are slightly out of reach, that make us wonder, what's next? By walking away, you disrupt the predictability of the relationship. You become less accessible, and that inaccessibility makes people want to know more about you. But here's the catch. Mystery isn't about being manipulative or playing games. It's about creating space for intrigue and maintaining a sense of individuality in the relationship. When you're too available or predictable, the other person may unconsciously start taking you for granted. Walking away shifts the dynamic, making them question what they really know about you, and that curiosity often reignites attraction. For example, think about the power of a cliffhanger in a movie or series. When the story ends on an unresolved note, you can't help but tune in to the next episode. The same principle applies in relationships. By stepping back, you create a sense of suspense that draws the other person toward you. Here's a practical exercise. Instead of always explaining yourself or being overly transparent, let your actions speak louder than your words. Focus on living an exciting, fulfilling life that naturally makes people curious about you. What are you working on? What's your next adventure? Let them wonder. Step 9. Walking away creates space for better opportunities. The most transformative aspect of walking away is that it creates space for better opportunities. Sometimes we hold on to relationships or situations out of fear of the unknown, fear of being alone, or fear of starting over. But here's the thing. You can't welcome new blessings into your life if you're clinging to what no longer serves you. Walking away is an act of faith. It's a declaration that you believe in your ability to attract something better, whether it's a healthier relationship, personal growth, or a deeper sense of self-love. And the beauty of life is that when you let go of the wrong things, the right things have a way of finding you. Here's an example. Have you ever left a toxic relationship only to discover that your career, friendships, or personal development skyrocketed afterward? That's no coincidence. When you free yourself from unhealthy attachments, you regain the energy and focus to pour into areas of your life that truly matter. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Walking away may feel like an ending, but it's often the beginning of something far greater. It's a way of telling the universe and yourself that you're ready for growth, happiness, and fulfillment. Here's a tip. If you're struggling to walk away, take some time to visualize the life you want. What does it look like? Who is part of it? What kind of energy surrounds you? Use that vision as your guide and remind yourself that walking away is a necessary step toward creating that reality. Step 10. Walking away shows strength, not weakness. Let's address a common misconception. Walking away is often seen as a sign of weakness, but in reality it's one of the strongest moves you can make. It requires courage to leave a situation, especially when emotions are involved, and strength to trust that what's ahead is better than what you're leaving behind. When you walk away, you're taking control of your narrative. You're choosing to prioritize your self-respect, emotional well-being, and future over short-term comfort. This level of self-awareness and discipline is rare, and that's why it's so powerful. Many people stay in relationships or situations out of fear. They fear rejection, loneliness, or the uncertainty of what's next. But the truth is, staying in a situation where you're not valued or respected only drains your energy and self-esteem. Walking away, on the other hand, signals to the world and to yourself that you're unafraid to demand what you deserve. Think about the great leaders, thinkers, and influencers throughout history. They all knew when it was time to walk away from something that no longer aligned with their values. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Walking away is an action, not just a thought. It's your way of being that good person for yourself. Here's the interesting part. Walking away often flips the script in relationships. The person who might have been taking you for granted suddenly realizes that you're not someone they can easily replace. This doesn't happen because of manipulation. It happens because strength and self-respect are magnetic. Here's a practical takeaway. Every time you hesitate to walk away, ask yourself, am I staying out of love or out of fear? If the answer is fear, remind yourself that true power lies in choosing yourself. Now, let me ask you, have you ever had a moment when walking away completely changed your life for the better? Share it in the comments. Your experience might be the push someone else needs to make their bold move. Walking away isn't just a relationship tactic. It's a life philosophy rooted in strength, self-respect, and emotional wisdom. Throughout these 10 points, we've explored the transformative power of knowing when to step back and focus on yourself. When you walk away, you're not playing games or trying to manipulate someone into chasing you. Instead, you are prioritizing your dignity, rediscovering your value, and creating space for growth, both yours and theirs. This is a powerful move that often leads to surprising outcomes, from reigniting attraction to inviting better opportunities into your life. Let's recap the key lessons. 1. Walking away shifts the balance of power, showing that you value yourself enough to let go of what no longer serves you. 2. It reclaims your time and energy, giving you the freedom to pour into your passions and purpose. 3. It fosters self-respect, which is the foundation for how others treat you. 4. Absence amplifies emotional impact, helping others truly recognize your worth. 5. Self-respect sets the standard for every interaction and relationship in your life. 6. Walking away creates space for personal growth, for both you and the other person. 7. Emotional independence makes you irresistible because it signals strength and confidence. 8. Mystery sparks curiosity and reignites attraction, reminding others not to take you for granted. 9. Walking away opens the door to better opportunities, allowing the right people and experiences to find you. 10. It's a sign of strength, not weakness, proving that you have the courage to prioritize your well-being over fear of loss. Remember, walking away isn't easy, but it's necessary. It's not about punishment or playing hard to get. It's about understanding your value and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Now, it's your turn. Which of these points resonated with you the most? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories and experiences. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Powerful Stoic Way. Join this growing community of individuals who are committed to mastering their relationships, mindset, and personal growth. Stay strong, stay stoic, and remember, when you walk away with purpose, you walk toward a life of greater respect, happiness, and fulfillment. You've got this.